Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. If you're new here, I want to welcome you, and if you are a frequent visitor, I would encourage both of you guys now to click on that watermark down there in the bottom right-hand corner to subscribe, along with that notification. That way you guys will know when the next Friday Vlog is available, along with additional content that's here on the channel. This week, CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, who we have covered here several times on the channel, had his Twitter account hacked. And apparently the hackers were issuing out different forms of racial slurs and other forms of epitaphs. But nonetheless, of course, we could not anticipate that Dorsey would be suspended or otherwise affected by any of this activity, as would a regular member on Twitter. You guys may recall, because when I was doing the research on this, I saw very few articles mention about his little signage that he had held up when he was on one of his regular trips to India there for his little spiritual experiences, or whatever it is that he goes there for his guru hippie trippy things that he does. But nonetheless, you may recall when he held up that sign for "Down with the Grammatical Patriarchy." You guys might recall that. As a matter of fact, when I was doing this cursory search, I never even saw that image anywhere. So that's probably been expunged from the internet as far as any particular topics pertaining to Jack Dorsey directly. But nonetheless, I suppose you could kind of see this as somewhat amusing or entertaining. But nonetheless, I think it clearly illustrates the double standard, either with the signage that Dorsey was holding that particular time, or with this particular hack, which clearly it was, that nothing is really specifically going to happen to Jack Dorsey's account in any way, shape, or form. But nonetheless, it goes to show that when you have certain tribes battling each other over the culture war, they can gain access to accounts or other things within your business or company or industry or whatever it is that you do to try to just give you a bunch of flack. And that's what we had right there. I will leave links to that down there in the public section for you guys to check out. Last week and this week, probably the biggest news here in the States is Hurricane Dorian. It is now a Category 5 as of this recording, with 155-mile-an-hour winds and 190 gusts. And of course, it pummeled the Bahama Islands quite severely. They had as much as 15 to 20 feet of flooding. Tidal surges coming from the hurricane, of course, are a huge factor when it comes to hurricanes. Not only is the wind and just the torrential rain and so forth that comes from them, but you also have the tidal surges. Now, right here in the United States, we are very fortunate, because as of this recording, it has not made landfall on Florida or any parts of the United States as of yet. Now, the trajectory kind of shows it going up north, kind of following along Florida, and then my state above Florida, Georgia, then South Carolina and North Carolina. The meteorologists are maybe perhaps anticipating that it might make actual landfall in North Carolina. So Florida and Georgia, here where I live, we're kind of spared the direct hit of the hurricane. However, we still have tidal surges, we still have rainfall, we still have damaging winds and other activity that comes just from a hurricane event like this. But nonetheless, of course, our Governor Brian Kemp came out several times, and of course the governors and mayors of Florida and certain areas of Florida came out to warn everyone to be prepared and to get your water and other necessities, and of course, you know, seek higher ground if necessary. But as far as Georgia is concerned, it has not quite made it here as of this recording, but nonetheless, it is just off the coast of Florida, right along, just kind of skirting along Florida right now. So they're experiencing a lot of the tidal surges, rain, and of course, damaging winds. But nonetheless, I will leave links for you guys down in the public section. You guys can check it out. I know many of you have been asking me via Twitter and other means how things are going here in Georgia. So far right now, it's a beautiful day as of this recording. Of course, along the east coast of Georgia, it might be a different story. And we might even experience a little bit of rain and some wind here where I live here in kind of in the Atlanta area. We'll probably get mostly just rain. But nonetheless, guys, I will leave links for you in the comments section down below. And that's going to wrap it up for this Friday Vlog. I want to thank all you guys for your continued participation here on the channel. Last week's Friday Vlog got the most views from any particular video released within a certain period of time. That would be like over a day or two. So I want to thank all you guys for your views and, of course, clicking that like right down there in the corner also is incredibly helpful, so I'd encourage you guys to do that. And of course, we have the obligatory channel icon appearing right there on the screen for you guys to click on that to subscribe, along with that notification, so you guys can decide if you want to know exactly when a video is released. But nonetheless, of course, you know these will always come out on Friday. So I want to wish all you guys a great weekend, and of course, we'll have to see how Dorian affects us here in Georgia. But nonetheless, I will see you guys next week.